Hi, today I'm going to go over the first 40 sounds in the Kaossilator Pro. It actually starts at 0 and these are in the L section. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going from 0 to 39 and just sort of playing around with the sounds so that you can see what sort of sounds that you can get out of this gizmo. So I'm going to start at 1. And cut-off changes, it sounds quite good. So it's harsh up there, soft down here, which I think is quite nice. Second program. You get some nice sounds out of that one. Yeah, I think that's a standard sine wave. I like how that one sort of wibbles and goes up. There's a lot of cool spacey sort of things going on in that one. Taking it up to number 5 now. It's quite a nice one. It sort of gets more sort of angry when it goes up. It's quite nice. Going up to number 6. That one doesn't seem to really change on the pad there, which is a shame. It's nice and old-fashioned sounding though, so it's quite a nice sound. So I quite like that one. That one's got a slight detune on it, which sounds quite interesting. So that's quite cool. That's number 7. I'm going up to number 8 now. Ooh, that one's quite varied. So this one goes to sounds all mechanical and stuff, which is quite cool. Which is quite nice. And we're going to number 9 now. This one's got a sort of automatic delay function on it, which is quite nice. Yeah, it starts off soft and gentle and stingy up here. It's quite nice. Sort of got a little children's program feel to it, that one actually. And they all lived happily ever after. This one here. Yeah, that's quite an angry sort of sound. and it becomes ever so slightly angrier as we go up the pad. It's quite cool. Sorry, I'm getting lost with this one. It's got a sort of delay on it, which is cool. Yeah, this one's it changes slightly the further up you go, so it's more squarey down here, more saw up here, which is quite cool. On to program number 12. My thumb's getting tired. Damn you, thumb. Yeah, another one where it's softer down here and up. Not quite sure how I'd use that, but it's got some interesting sounds with it. That's number 12. Moving on to number 13. I know that the display says 12, but this is number 13 because it started on a 0. Yes, I'm clued in. Isn't that amazing? Makes a change. Ooh, that's a nice bell sound, isn't it? Gets more distorted as it goes up. I don't think I'd use that one though. I like nice friendly bells. Yeah, a little bit too aggressive for me. On to number 14. I believe that's a flute with a nice amount of reverb on it. And it adds tremolo as it goes up. Or is that? No. It's automatically got that. The sound just becomes more powerful as it goes up. Oh, I like that one a lot. That's beautiful, that sound. Going up to number 15. Yep, more aggressive, higher up. Yeah, it's not a bad sound. Wouldn't really use that one though. No, we're on to number 16, that's the one. I nearly said 14 there, that was bad. Sounds slightly voicey as it goes up, but that's definitely a more aggressive tone. Yeah, it's definitely a sort of vocal sound, that one. Sorry about this, my hand gets tired of holding this thing down. It's the problem with this, I've got to hold down the, well, there's probably another and much more simple way of doing it, but I'm choosing to hold it down to strengthen my thumb muscles because that's how pro I am. So we're going to move up to number 17. I think it's the trend that it gets more aggressive as it goes up, so I'm going to stop saying it because otherwise I'm going to become really repetitive. We're on to number 18 now. Ooh, that is such a sci-fi feel. It's ever so slightly like a Red Alert, except played on a sitar with a lot of delay coming on. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, I like that one a lot. Yeah. Anyway, my twisted perversions aside, let's move on to L018 or number 19. Yeah, it's a little bit voicey as well. It's quite a nice sound though. Moving on to number 20. Ah yes. Ever so slightly different to the last one, which is... So yeah, definitely a different synth sound, but quite similar sounding to start off with, so... Yeah, it's quite a nice sound as well. Moving swiftly on to number 21. Very, very, very voicey there. If you're a singer, you'll probably just sit there for hours going... Just remembering all of those times that you've had to practice sirening and just generally how maddening it was, the process. Thumb's getting tired again. So on to number 22. Yeah, that's kind of a deep sort of sound, which is kind of, I don't know if it's grungy, but it sounds cool. I'll say it's grungy. So moving on to 23, there we go. Yeah, this one changes actually. Not only is it more aggressive up here, but it's got a lot more attack. This one's got no attack down here. So high sort of instant connection with the sound up at the top and very different for low down. Moving on to 24. I believe that's a standard sort of square sound, although it becomes rapidly gated as you move up the pad. So. Oh, this one's going to get on the neighbours' nerves. And everyone else who lives in the house. And eventually mine. And and it's stopped being awesome. Anyway, on to number 25, which is cool. I believe that's in fives. Just getting more powerful as it goes up, which is the standard. Ah, my fingers are so weak and weary from old age. It sucks to be a walrus today. More powerful as we go up, back to the trend. On to 26. It's another one of those cool delay ones that I like. Which is quite cool. I believe the delay function changes on this one ever so slightly, because it's more powerful as a delay down here. It's more tinny up here, I believe. So that's quite interesting. On to number 27, which is cool. Oh, I love that. That's got loads and loads of coolness coming out of it. That is well sci-fi. Yep, slightly more aggressive up top. That is a lovely sound. I'm remembering you. On to 28. This is the sort of one that you get. This is when you've been out, and it's been a bad night, and you're chasing that girl who refused to date you down the alleyway. And she thinks that she's escaped. Okay, maybe not quite so psychotic, but gets more ringy as it goes up. I believe that one's also in fives, which is quite cool. Yeah, definitely no more chasing girls in dark alleys for me. On to number 29. That is definitely a theremin-y sound. And it starts quiet, like a theremin. When you've got your hand on the sound paddle on the theremin, I'm just going to take my hand off there for a second. It sort of controls the... it's got a little circle thing that controls the actual sound that's coming out of it. So it would be like... And your other hand would be controlling it like... Something like that. But anyway, we're not experimenting with a theremin here. We're experimenting with a titanically awesome synth. So we're going to go on to L30, which is quite cool. Sounds a little bit like a planet, but who knows what madness. It's not L30, it's L29, but it's number 30, and that's what counts. Yeah, that's definitely distortion being added there. That's quite nice if you like distortion effects. I loathe them with a passion. Moving on to number 31, or L030. Yeah, definitely more aggressive as it goes down. Not a particular fan of that one. Number 32. You really can't hit any note wrong with this, it's just groovy. Okay, you can hit a few notes wrong, but that doesn't matter because it sounds awesome. Yep, that one's got a very, 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 very small amount of release, and that's just a decay. This one's got quite a bit of release. Which is quite nice. Moving on to number 33. That reminds me a little bit of like Fireflies by Owl City, the sort of square sound, I believe it is, that they use for that. So that's good. That's going to be quite amazing. That was number 33. On to number 34, which is God knows what. That's a very voicey one already. This one's got a bit of a sting on the front. Yeah, I definitely prefer it down the keypad. But yeah, what do I know? I'm not really a competent musician. I'm a hack, trust me. Moving on to number 35. Ooh, that's a very voicey blah sound. Yeah, this one sort of goes up the keypad and I call it keypad. I don't even know what this thing is. It goes up the screen. It goes up in sort of thingy is you can, well, you know what I mean. It goes up in scale or sound or whatever the hell you call it, in key. That's it, something like that. It goes up in key that way and it goes up exactly the same that way. So that plus that is groovy. I don't really like the sound though. On to number 36, or L035. That sounds sort of chiptuney with a bit of reverb. Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't sound anything like that. It sounds sort of like old Final Fantasy cave music or something. I think Final Fantasy 9 in terms of instrument. It's definitely some Final Fantasy 9 in there. You can trust me on that. I do play the games vaguely. But that's the sort of sound it is. On to 37 anyway. Another voicey one. Ugh. So ooh to ah, ooh to ah. So it's just an ooh to ah. Ooh 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 ah 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 ooh 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 ah ah ooh ah ooh ah. Weird, but you know, effective, I guess. On to 38, or L037. Just rapidly gated arpeggiation or a tremolo, depending on how you're prepared to look at it. I don't know which it is because I can't tell because I'm not a competent musician, but it sounds cool. That's really quite groovy. On to L038 or number 39. If I had a car, that's what it would sound like. I don't really know what I'd use that for, but sort of has a hiss thing added, like zzzt, onto the end when it moves up. Guess that's more aggressive. And finally L039 or fort number 40. Yeah, lots of tremolo being added up here, and very, very standard square. That's quite cool. Anyway, that's all of the L's out of the way, and I'll go on to doing the next section later on in another video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and yeah, have a groovy time.